Hey there guys, how are you? Welcome back to another awesome video, and it's time for another top 10 video. And for today's top 10 video is going to be the top 10 most anticipated movies of 2021. I know I'm a little bit way late on this list, but better late than never, and I'll explain later on why, but I think you guys have known it's just been the process of moving and unpacking all that stuff and more, and trying to come back to my channel. But for this list, I'll be obviously looking at the movies that I want to see and I'm most excited for 2021. Some of these I might have said in my most anticipated movies of 2020, which I'll probably leave an annotation at the end of this video of that list if you want to go check that out. And so some of those will be on here because a lot of 2020 movies got delayed. Now they're released for this year. Maybe there'll be some that might be delayed for next year. Who knows? We'll see. But anyways, without further ado, let's jump right into it. And at number 10 right here is In the Heights. I am really loving this musical movie, how they're going with In the Heights, especially when you have Anthony Ramos starring in it, and Lin-Manuel Miranda is either directing it, he's producing it, he's writing it, whatever the case is, he's adapting this because obviously this was his musical that he did on Broadway. Now he gets to basically write, direct, produce this film with his good old buddy Ramos by his side. This sounds like this is gonna be good. I love how the music is and the colors, how vibrant it is. I'm excited and I can't wait any further. And I actually don't remember when this is gonna be released, but whenever this gets released, I'm definitely gonna be excited for sure. At number 9, we have Ghostbusters Afterlife. Hopefully a proper sequel to Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2. Maybe this could be the third Ghostbusters we've always wanted, since there is talks of the cast coming back, like Bill Murray and of course Dan Aykroyd. And we also have newcomers like Finn Wolfhard and Paul Rudd attached to this, and maybe this, and if you're not a fan of the 2016 Ghostbusters, this will definitely get you in the mood to be like, say, hey, we can retcon that 2016 film and then enjoy this fun Ghostbusters movie with Rudd, with Wolfhard, and maybe we'll see appearances by some of the old characters as well. At number 8 is Spiral. Now, I wasn't originally excited for this film, and because I just heard of it as just Spiral. I was like, okay, I remember seeing the trailer for this, and then I was like, okay, I saw the trailer, I sat there, I thought, okay, this definitely has my curiosity a bit. I didn't think this horror movie would really have my intrigue. And then you bring Chris Rock, and you bring Samuel Jackson into it, and now it kind of like, it brings it up 2 notches right there, which I'm intrigued by, to see these two in a horror movie together. And the idea of them doing this sort of like detective mystery sort of psychological thing going on here. I'm like, okay. And then next thing you know, at the end of the trailer, it drops, it's a Saw sequel, which I did not expect. And that just had me even more excited because, like, okay, the Saw sequels haven't been the best, and Jigsaw is very iffy on opinions, but I think this one could be a really great film. This could really be not just a great Saw sequel or a great horror movie, but this could be a good movie, or at least a fun horror movie for sure, especially when you got Samuel Jackson. You can't go wrong with the guy. Chris Rock trying at horror? All right, let's see this unfold when Saw comes out, when Spiral comes out. At number 7 is Black Widow. Finally, hopefully, this could be the year we get Black Widow, and it sounds like we are in May of, I want to say May 4th, sometime early May, with it being both a theatrical release and a Disney Plus release, so that should be a bonus for sure. And just how much we've seen the trailers for it, the footage of it, and this being Scarlett Johansson's final outing as the character, from what we've heard so far, and all the other characters that we're seeing as well, with David Harbour and I want to say Florence Pugh, definitely could really be interesting to add. And we got a badass villain like Taskmaster, and this whole like feel of it's a spy, espionage, Marvel thriller film. Sounds really cool. And I've been excited for quite a while, since 2020. Hopefully we can see how good this can be, and hopefully this will be a good outing for ScarJo. At number 6 is No Time to Die and Raya the Last Dragon. So let's talk about No Time to Die first, since this is going to be Daniel Craig's final outing as Bond, and this is his like 25th film, or this is going to be This is either his 25th film or this is the 25th Bond film out of all the Bond movies. So this is I think this sounds really cool, and especially that you have Rami Malek as the villain sounds really that has me more intrigued than ever. And I've seen some of the Bond movies. I'm not a huge Bond fan. I am aware of all the Bond movies like Connery, Pierce Brosnan, and even some of Daniel Craig's outings, but this one definitely I will watch for sure and see for sure. And I've seen some of the other ones here and there. I've seen bits of Spectre, Skyfall, whatever other ones that are out there. But the point I'm making is that this one really has my anticipation. I'm really curious, and also just the fact that Rami Malek's gonna be a villain sounds pretty awesome. And with Raya the Last Dragon, it looks so spectacle. It has a lot of like mystical elements and there's an interesting lore to there with the tribes and with the sort of culture it's got going on. And I love how beautiful the animation is, and you got a whole like basically Asian cast, and they're going for that culture sort of feel vibes that I really like, and I think this is gonna be a really great movie, and especially when you got people behind like Moana that are going to be making this movie. So there's definitely going to be something really cool there for sure. Alright, we're nearing down my final 5 on my list, and at number 5 is Venom! Let There Be Carnage! This definitely for sure is going to be a better movie compared to the first Venom, and I like the first Venom for the most part. I mean, I think we could all agree that Tom Hardy's Venom is great. Both him as Eddie Brock and Venom are great. That's going to be the good thing about looking forward to more seeing of in Let There Be Carnage. But obviously with the first film, yeah, I think we all could agree Ryan wasn't the best villain. So at least with Let There Be Carnage, you have a 10 times better villain because it's Carnage. We all want to see Carnage on the big screen for a while now in Spider-Man films and just in films in general, and we're getting it with Woody Harrelson, which sounds really cool the more I think about it. And he would have not been my first choice, but I really do dig how he looks in the pictures and the set photos I've seen of him. I can't wait to see that Carnage transformation and that brawl between the two of them, and maybe we'll see Spider-Man make a cameo. Who knows? We'll see. Number 4 is Godzilla vs. Kong. Another one I've really been waiting for a while, since 2020. And like I said, another movie that I've wanted to see that was supposed to come out in 2020. Now, hopefully, we're going to see in 2021. And we got a trailer to really go off of it too, which makes it even better. So I'm really excited. And as much as I can just keep going on that hype train of that Kong versus Godzilla, whose team are you on? Team Godzilla, Team Kong, and everything else, all that good stuff. As much as I can just keep going on that hype train, I'm a little concerned a little bit at the same time. And I hope Toho, I hope Legendary, I hope whoever's making this is not gonna go down this route. But I hope, and here's my concern, is I hope that Kong versus Godzilla is not gonna be like BVS, so basically like Batman vs. Superman, where you had a 10-minute fight between the two main lead like characters in the title of the movie, and then everything else is just, oh, we're gonna do a whole like Mothra like plot where they team up and fight whatever villain they have to fight. And yeah, there's a theory or possibility, rumor that Mechagodzilla might be the villain, which cool, that sounds really great, and especially when you look at the trailer, there are some shots that you can see that, yeah, maybe it could be Mechagodzilla, like, even if he's, like, fake Godzilla, but I don't want that to be the main focus. I don't want there to be all these subplots and plot holes and trying to, like, do, like, a whole monsterverse and bring in all these other monsters and shoehorn this, shoehorn that, and everything else, kind of like BVS did for some things, and some things worked, some things didn't work, but BVS... And I hope Godzilla vs. Kong doesn't do this as well. BVS had a 10-minute like short fight between the two of our leads, and everything else was kind of like building up other like exposition and other plots and other tie-ins to other movies and all this other stuff and such. And I don't want Godzilla vs. Kong to be just like that. I want the main fight, Godzilla vs. Kong, to be the main focus. Make that your major plot. And I think you could definitely have a really great, fun film. And yes, there will be some subplots, but don't make the subplots the overshadow of the fight. Make the fight the big build-up, and then everything else you can kind of throw in maybe at the end. Like, don't make, like, obviously this is not going to be the climax, but point is build up the fight. Don't have all this other shit going on. Just make it the focus, just be Godzilla vs. Kong, okay? And I think we'll have a great film on our hands, and we can finally have the answer of that. Who would actually win between these two? And the trailer looks pretty fucking awesome, that's for sure. So I hope this movie's gonna be fucking awesome too. Number 3 is The Suicide Squad. Sure, I have my opinion, or I've not said my full opinion on the 2016 Suicide Squad, and I did enjoy it for the most part. We'll maybe talk about it another day. Point I'm trying to make is, no matter how I felt about David Ayer's Suicide Squad, James Gunn's Suicide Squad is definitely going to be 10 times better, and it's going to be a lot more fun, it's going to be more funnier, and you got a lot more obscure characters in this, you got returning characters. This is it's confusing that it's a soft reboot, but it's a sequel, like that, whatever. Point is, I'm excited for it. I have like all sorts of hopes for it, and just, I like the roster of the characters, and the cast that we have is stellar, and like I said, James Gunn really knows what he's going to do with this, and I think this would be really cool, is for if the trailer or for the actual movie they do use Seven Nation Army, because I feel like Suicide Squad and Seven Nation Army, the song would be, they would just go hand in hand for each other. I think that'd be so cool to see. And we know who the main villain is. I don't care. I can't wait to find out. There's been speculation of maybe Starro. I think I said Lobo maybe, but point is, this is gonna be a lot of fun and a lot of enjoyment, and just, I love the characters. Like, you gotta be kidding me. And the cast too. Sure, I had my doubts here and there, but I think this is looking pretty good. I think DC, I think the Suicide Squad is definitely in good hands with James Gunn. At number 2 is Dune and Spider-Man 3. Let's get into Dune real quick. So with Dune, I have not seen David Lynch's Dune, the original Dune, and I've not read the book, but I've heard great things about the book, and the Lynch movie has its fans and its haters, and it has its in-betweens. But whatever it is, definitely for sure, from the trailers and from everything else that we've heard about this movie with Denis Villeneuve, or whatever his name is, I'm sorry if I butchered the guy's name, but the director of Blade Runner 2049 is directing this movie, so there's one good thing to look forward to. The fact of that this is going to be, they're going to make it like a whole trilogy thing, which, so they're going to basically expand the whole book into like 3 movies, which that's 2 right there. 3, the cast alone with Zendaya, Dave Bautista, Josh Brolin, Oscar Isaac, the list goes on, the list goes on, the list goes on, and the spectacles look really great, so that's 3, that's 4 right there, and I'm sure this could be hyping up to be like very both true to the source material, which is 5, and this could be like the next big like sci-fi movies up there with The Matrix, with Avatar, with Terminator, and Star Wars. So maybe there is definitely hope there for Dune, and I definitely dig it. I love its tone, that's for sure. And with Spider-Man 3, yes, I am really excited for Spider-Man 3, no matter what it is and whatever is gonna happen. Because even if it's not a Spider-Verse film, I'm still excited for it. If it's a Spider-Verse film, okay, great. But here's my only problem that I've stated before, I'll state again with Spider-Man 3, is that there's so many like plots going on with like from what I've talked about is we have the Spider-Verse going on, we have like all these other villains coming up, we have the Sinister Six, we have the multiverse, we have Spider-Man on the run from obviously being so-called a criminal, and villains coming back, like Mysterio, maybe making a return. I might do a theory on that. Anyways, and like I said, there's Daredevil showing up, there's like, they're bringing in like Ned Lee's making to be a villain, and also the other characters, and also the things going on. It doesn't feel cohesive. And that I feel like all this stuff is just so crammed together that I feel that Marvel might be just pulling our leg. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. I feel like they're pulling our leg. However, here's this. Even if they aren't pulling our legs, I feel like they're deriving away from what Spider-Man 3 maybe should be the main focus, which is having Peter Parker on the run. How the hell is he gonna escape the fact that he's now a criminal to the world? How do you escape that? So I hope that is not gonna be overshadowed by the Spider-Verse and everything else. And even if this stuff isn't, even this is all just bullshit, that they're just basically setting up like maybe the 4th film to be Spider-Verse, which I could see that working out. It would be perfect. I think that'd be interesting because you have all these rumors that they're doing and that they are maybe building it to like, hey, we're gonna have some of this in Spider-Man 3, but Spider-Man 4 is mainly gonna be about the Spider-Verse and maybe some other characters like Jamie Foxx's Electro, Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, Defoe's Green Goblin, and so forth and so forth. So I think that would make sense, in my opinion at least. But I hope that the rumors or whatever confirmation, whatever this all is, yes, I know they're trying to make this pretty bigger than Endgame, whether it's going to be Spider-Man 3 or Spider-Man 4, and yes, I will still call it Spider-Man Home Invasion, I don't care, but, but in all seriousness though, either way, I just hope it is a good movie and that they don't sort of just, they're not trying to like drive away from that, from what Far From Home left us with, because I feel like that is good. If they keep going with the Spider-Verse, it's going to be an unanswered question of like, how the hell did Peter Parker escape the whole like being not a criminal anymore sort of thing. And that's going to be, I don't want that to be a subplot. I want that to be a main plot, and hopefully maybe some of the other Spider-Verse stuff can maybe be intertwined, but I just hope this is not going to be in this whole tangled tangent. So yeah, I have my hopes, but I also, like, I'm excited, but I'm hoping, like, in terms of this, just doesn't get so, like, caught up with a lot. This is getting caught up with a lot, so Marvel, I hope you know, hopefully we'll see what happens, if we get a trailer or not, whatever the case is. Hopefully we will get something explained on how, if this is all rumored, if this was all just setting up for Spider-Man 4, or if this was all gonna happen in Spider-Man 3. Let's just hope it pulls off in the end. And now, before my number one pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Coming to America, a sequel that apparently people, I don't know if people want it or not, but a sequel to a movie that we've got decades ago, which it works. I think this is gonna work, especially you have Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy coming back and doing their characters again, and seeing these characters is definitely gonna be interesting and funny for sure. And you got even like, we're gonna have people like James Earl Jones come back, and we're gonna have people like, I think Leslie Jones is going to be in this, and Tracy Morgan. But I think the new characters that we're getting, I am so stoked that Wesley Snipes this is his return to film, and he's such a crazy character already from what we've seen in the trailer. And the trailer has me really curious, and that has me my intrigue, and I like Coming to America, and then now Coming to America is happening. Luca. Since I saw Onward and Soul, I'm so excited for a lot of the, like, Pixar original movies that are coming out, and Luca definitely has my intrigue with this boy and this, I guess, other kid, fish out of water, literally a fish kid, whatever the plot is. All I know is that the animation is beautiful, this sort of setting of Italy is gonna be gorgeous, I love that, and everything, and I'm gonna be excited for anything Pixar for the next couple of years. With this movie, with Turning Red, with Lightyear, with everything else that Pixar has slated for the next like 4 to 5 years, I'm excited for Pixar's original content moving on and beyond. Uncharted. I totally forgot about this movie was coming out. It's been in rumor mill for quite a while, but I'm glad it's getting up on its feet. And with Tom Holland being Nathan Drake, which is going to be really cool. And we have Jake Gyllenhaal and Chris Pratt possibly rumored or confirmed to be in the movie as well. But I like the idea of Tom Holland being Nathan Drake. And sure, he might be either a little bit too young or the right age for Nathan Drake. Doesn't matter to me. However, I do like the idea that Holland, no matter what happens to his Spider-Man career, he's trying to do more films. He's trying to go into more, like, he's got that youth and he's young at his age that he can start going, okay, I want to start doing more franchises, and I want to start doing more films and other stuff, like indie things maybe, and also the other things that he's just going to dive into and delve into and really stretch his legs, and I like that, and I'm excited to see where he takes Uncharted. Shang-Chi! Now, I like the idea of Shang-Chi being a film, and then we're going to have, like, the whole, like, Asian, like, Oriental, American, like, culture and, like, full cast of just Asian actors. But I think what really has my intrigue the most is that we're getting the real deal. The real Mandarin's finally gonna show up in this film, and we're gonna finally get his story, and we're gonna finally have the accuracy of the comic book version of the Mandarin. Morbius. I will say Morbius definitely looks like it's going to be really cool. I don't think it's going to be anything amazing or the best film, but I think Jared Leto is an interesting choice for Morbius. He definitely looks better as Morbius than he does Joker, to be honest. But I like this sort of approach they're going with Morbius, and if it ties to the MCU or not. I'm pretty sure at this point the Sony films do tie into the MCU, especially since we saw Vulture show up in the trailer for Morbius. This looks like this could be really, really cool. Mortal Kombat! Finally, we're getting this very R-rated Mortal Kombat movie, and we're gonna get the fatalities, we're gonna get the gore, and we saw bits of teasers and bits of snippets and clips here and there of how the whole movie looks, and it just looks pretty stoked and pretty dope. And I just hope that they use that 90s score. I don't care how they do it, I want to hear that Mortal Kombat theme in the background somewhere. I don't care how they do it, I want to hear it. So, let's do that. But either way, I'm excited for a Mortal Kombat movie. Also, I know this is kind of a little bit late, but I want to apologize for any lighting going on, especially with the sun just keep going in and out of the video, and even my light going in and out of the video, so I just want to at least point that out. But anyways, and now my #1 pick of my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2021 is, drumroll please, Zack Snyder's Justice League, aka the Snyder Cut. Now originally, I heard about the Snyder Cut, I was not on board with it, and then once we saw the trailer with that beautiful score and the beautiful visuals, especially calling back to Watchmen and everything, I just got on that hype train, and I think this movie, as much as I do like some things about Joss Whedon's Justice League, I think this is going to be 10 times better. I don't care if it's going to be 4 hours. This is going to be worth it. We're going to see all sorts of visuals. We're going to see all sorts of scenes that we missed from the movie that were the original vision and the original design for this movie and for Zack Snyder's vision. We're going to see things like Darkseid. We're going to see the black suit Superman, the solar suit Superman. We're going to see more of Cyborg, more of Flash. Everyone got to come back and basically do reshoots and basically do these scenes again. And not only are we going to see all these great things, and especially how this Zack Snyder's trilogy would have been, and like I said, I've pointed out here and there that his trilogy, not a big fan of how, like, the idea that Zack has had for his trilogy. I'm not a fan of where it goes after Justice League 1. Like, some things I don't like about 2 and 3 that he does. However, I definitely will say that I really do love his vision and his sort of like ideal that he had for the first Justice League, and that at least has me excited. And the fact that this started like basically such a big huge trend of the hashtag release the Snyder Cut, that actors got involved and they wanted to see the Snyder Cut. Everyone wanted to see the Snyder Cut, and for a while we couldn't see it, and that it was nowhere to be found, and that there was nothing of the Snyder Cut. And such a big thing as hashtag release the Snyder Cut just elevated and trended, and it became this thing where now Zack was like, you know what? You're gonna get the Snyder Cut, folks. You're gonna get more than that. You're gonna see Darkseid. You're gonna see Martian Manhunter. We're gonna see Jon Stewart, the Green Lantern. We're gonna see all sorts of things that basically the Justice League that you guys saw 3 years ago, 4 years ago, that stuff that wasn't in that movie, you're gonna see in this movie, and so much more. And so many people just come on full circle in support of this film. It's so phenomenal of how much support's behind this, and it just has me even more excited. So I really can't wait to see this, and especially 4 hours. What are they gonna do with 4 hours has me really deeply intrigued. And those are the movies I'm most anticipated for. Let me know in the comments, what are some movies you're most anticipated for 2021? This list got harder and harder and harder each time I went over it and revised it and revised it and revised it. And there's so many other movies I forgot to even think about. Like there's a African-American Western with Idris Elba and Delroy Lindo and Jonathan Majors, those guys. They're doing a Western on Netflix. I forgot about that movie. There's, I want to say Judas and the Black Messiah, the whole thing about the Black Panthers that's coming out on, I think, HBO Max or Amazon Prime or something. That movie I forgot to mention. There's so many other movies I missed that I wanted to mention, but like I said, with 2020's movies now jumping to 2021 and even new releases, we're gonna have a whole ton of movies to look forward to this year. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please smash that button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I do awesome videos every day, if not every week. And make sure you ring that bell to be notified. I do new videos every day, if not every week. Share the video with family and friends, all that good stuff and more. And stick around to the channel. There's going to be a few videos popping up here and there, uploads, and whatsoever out the wazoo, because I've scheduled some things, and then they should be coming up within the week, if not next week. I'm going to try and return to my channel as best as I can, and especially juggle with everything else that's going on with my personal life. And now that I've moved officially, it's not too much of a backdrop, but this is just how the setup is going to be for now. There will be more stuff later, but you guys will see a little bit more of a better room tour later this week, if not next week, and also the other things coming together and more content I'm gonna try and push out. And leave some suggestions, as always, in the comments for any videos, and I'll look into them. And I will also have more reviews coming out, more top 10s, but more likely more reviews I'm gonna try and pump out. Whether it's TV shows, comics, and movies, I'm gonna try and do that and squeeze some top 10s in between, and also the other stuff. We'll see what happens. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.